I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today my guest is Roe Frazer with Cicada. We'll be back to talk with him after this.
Talkapolis programming is sponsored in part by the Vane Center, now celebrating 10 years service in Nashville, Tennessee.
Welcome, Roe.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, so Cicada is a software business, software as a service, and you're primarily in the litigation space. Is that correct?
That's correct. We play in what's called e-discovery, which is lawyers always use terms that no other human beings use. So they put an E in front of the term discovery because parties swap information in a case, and our software is designed to enhance that experience for lawyers.
So let's back up a little bit, because you're trained in law.
Yes.
And before we went on camera, you were talking programming and language, like you spent your entire your career in IT. So you came out as a litigator out of law school. Is that correct?
That's correct. I practiced law for 21 years in Jackson, Mississippi, and homebrewed my own technology to handle massive amounts of data in litigation nationwide. And
so this happened as just something you discovered that wasn't working right in your practice and you wanted to fix it?
Absolutely. That became my first company called Case Logistics, which is now owned by Thomson Reuters. And
Did you ever imagine that would go beyond just fixing your problem to others when you were first working on it, or?
Not really. There were a couple of law firms using what we had done, and I got to a point in my career where I was a little burned out trying cases, and the guys who created it inside my law firm said, hey, we've got a product here. Why don't we market this thing? And that became my first company, Case Logistics.
And so you built that up and sold that.
Sold that and moved the company to Nashville in 2006, sold it in 2007, had a 4-year non-compete, and during the cicada invasion of Nashville in the summer of 2011...
I was thinking that might be the source of that name.
We launched the company.
So did you go back to practicing law from 2007 to 2011?
No.
Or?
I felt like one of my weaknesses when I had Case Logistics was my marketing sensibility, if you will. So I started a digital marketing company in Nashville called Dígame, which means tell me in Spanish.
Right.
And really kind of self-taught.
Tell me in Spanish with just a little southern accent to it.
With just a little southern accent.
Right.
Change a letter or two to get the .com, right? And I used that to educate myself on social media and digital marketing and what kind of messaging works. And we've taken a lot of those concepts and plugged them into the stale world of lawyers and e-discovery.
So what happened to Dígame? That was a 4-year journey and
4-year gig.
Did you wind it down, or?
Yeah, we merged it into Cicada, brought the key people into Cicada. So all of the things you see on our website, we produce those in-house. All of our marketing we do on our own. All of our social media we're very proud to do on our own as well.
So what kind of penetration have you gotten so far with this in the litigation world?
We've done pretty well. Last year was our first revenue year. We were in deep development for the first almost 3 years of the company. And last year we went to market not having our full product suite until the fourth quarter. And we did quite well. We hit our revenue target for the year, and so far in 2015 we're ahead of plan. So we're doing well. We have clients as far away as London, England, and in the U.S. we have substantial market already in the Nashville to Louisville to Birmingham I-65 corridor, in Salt Lake City, Utah, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Boston, Massachusetts, and a couple of other little places in between. Our primary approach has been to go into Tier 2 cities as opposed to the big Tier 1 cities just yet.
So to somebody like me who's not an attorney, in layman's terms, exactly what do you do? Are you just helping move the information litigators need in a more efficient way, and more information is available now because of the internet, so it's critical? Or
Absolutely. The law follows society.
Right.
It never leads society, but it follows society. And as society, as we communicate more and more digitally with social media and email and whatnot, Twitter, Snapchat, et cetera, the digital information has exploded. So when companies get in litigation against each other, there's a lot more to discover.
Right.
Because in litigation, you have to give the other party what they request of you under certain rules and guidelines, and vice versa. And because that data is so immense now, if you don't have software that can think like a human being and put the data that you think as a lawyer is important to the outcome of that case in a manageable way from a workflow standpoint, you don't have a chance.
So you're having to do a lot of text analytics, is that correct?
Yeah, we do data filtering. So you start out with this giant set of data, and the first thing we do is flatten everything, get rid of all the duplicates, get rid of all the fantasy football emails in a company, and you end up with a data set that you then word filter for keywords, so you can get rid of things that are completely irrelevant to the litigation. And then you have to take that data and you have to figure out what you really have in there. And so we offer natural language processing, which allows a human being to distantly view into data where he or she doesn't even know what words they're looking for. And it's a remarkable system, quite frankly. It's well beyond what you do on a normal Google search.
Sure.
That you have to do in legal, because often if you're looking toward a scheme or a fraud, if it's a government investigation or it's a massive fraud suit, most smart people don't use words like, let's go defraud Jim over there and steal all of his money. They talk about sacks of potatoes,
Right.
or
Right.
they use Star Wars characters like Enron did in some
Right.
of its schemes. So our text analytics are designed to get you to those documents faster. You can always get there as a human being, but it may take you years. With ours, it's milliseconds.
So are you taking some of the cutting edge on search and applying it to this situation, or are you guys actually discovering some new algorithms to help the whole world of search?
We do both. But our algorithms are written primarily from a lawyer standpoint. We're one of the very few software companies that are owned and operated by a lawyer and who's had experience in litigation. And so a lot of what we do is I sit down with our data scientists, we plot out, if I was using this kind of word to show this kind of scheme, what are some of the terms I would be using, and then we try to write an equation around that, which often is successful.
So you still need a lot of a human component to kind of guide this process.
You always need a human component, I believe. Our philosophy is man and woman over machine, that the machine should be in the background.
Right.
A lot of companies, they want the machine in front of you.
Right.
You have, as a human, have to be behind the machine all the time, behind the curve. We prefer a much more modern view, which is technology should recede into the background. It should be part of what we do, not in our face all the time.
What an amazing niche. Thanks for coming in and sharing this today.
Thank you. My pleasure.